Hi, everyone. I am going live for a little bit, as long as Julian gives me. But I want to say hi. I'm trying to wear different clothes on each one so we can signify. We'll call this video the pineapple video because I have a pineapple on my shirt. Hi, everyone. So hopefully some of you can pop on. I don't have a lot of time, but I definitely want to cover why you and your challengers and your customers need to change in frustrations for appreciations. There's so many people writing, I'm frustrated, I'm following the playdits. You can't perfectly follow the playdits. There is no perfect suggestion because we're all different, and I'll want to talk about that. You need to keep tracking, tweaking, and finding out what works best for you. You can't ever be frustrated, especially because you've only been doing the program for a month. You have to be open-minded. You have to put more effort in because it does become effortless the more open-minded, flexible you are with your approach. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about positive people creating a more positive weight loss experience. Because you're going to start seeing that more and more as the summer brings more and more social settings. And I want to talk about weekend planning, and then hopefully leave room for questions if we get to it and my baby allows me. So let's start with why we need to exchange frustrations for appreciations. I saw a big drop on the scale like 2 or 3 days ago, and then I saw the scale stay the same for 2 or 3 days. I'm not frustrated staying the same. I'm appreciative of the fact that it's not going up and that it maintains the drop. That's it. Like, you have to be appreciative. You have to choose not to be frustrated. You have to always refer back to your tracker. It's very easy to blame others. It's very easy to blame the plated system or me, but the most important messaging that you need to take from me, and the most important messaging that you need to deliver to everyone you work with, is the plated system is just a recommendation. It's a suggestion. It's a recommendation. It's what I've seen work best for most people, but everyone is different. Everyone is different. If you find that every day at lunch you're having, 2 slices of bread as your carb, and that seems like a quarter of your plate, and you're writing, I'm following plated perfectly and I'm not losing weight, there is no perfect way to do it. I never said it's 2 slices of bread. It could be 1 slice of bread. It could be half a slice of bread that's going to work for you. You need to try it, track it, and see what's best. You might use the more sure model at lunch and feel like you don't even need the slice of bread, and that's okay too. So you don't have to force yourself to have the snack. You don't have to force yourself to eat as many carbs. If you're not hungry come dinner, you don't have to force yourself to eat, 3 or 4 cups of vegetables if you just feel like you need, like a piece of chicken, some tomatoes, and want to go to sleep early. Like, you need to try it, track it, and see what works best for you. We are all different. And not only are we all different, but every day is different. So, before having the baby, I was like, okay, so what works best for me in weight loss mode is kind of when I'm having the same breakfast and the same lunch and change up my dinners. That goes out the window the second I had my baby, and I realized, yeah, that's not going to happen. There is no consistency. I'm running around. I had to take my baby to the pediatrician's office. Then he was fussy. I got really hungry. Thankfully, I had some baby carrots in my bag and a beach bar, but I ended up having to go to a restaurant nearby and having a meal there because I just felt like I didn't have energy. I wanted to drive safe and be well and get myself a good meal before taking him home. We gotta be flexible. You gotta be flexible. Every day is different. Every day in our lives is different. So please never get frustrated. You have to try it, track it, and see. When people message me I'm so frustrated, I'm following your program perfectly and I haven't lost weight, that's okay. It's only been a few weeks and it becomes more effortless once you get it. So you have to be open to studying your tracker. And when people write to me, I played it perfectly, it doesn't really mean anything to me because your plate could be 10 inches, your plate could be 7 inches. You could be eating, a thigh and a drumstick as your protein, or you might feel like you need 2 thighs and a drumstick, and that still looks like a quarter of your plate. It could be that you're having an apple as your FFC or lunch, or it could be that you're having, you know, a large pita the size of my face as a side of your as your carb at lunch, and those are completely different things. So it really takes trying it, tracking it, and see what's working best for you, because it really always comes down to the two bunnies. And so that's honestly and truly what you guys have to understand and what you have to convey to anyone who's frustrated. People are going to say, I'm an overnight shift worker, or I'm going through menopause, or my day works better when I eat 4 meals a day versus 3 big meals a day, or whatever it is. The answer to give them and to give you is try it, track it, and see. Some people say, I haven't lost weight in the past week and a half. Well, if you're going on a scale every day, some days it's going down and some days it's going up. If you stayed 160 for 4 days, and you're saying you stayed 160 for the past week, that means that some days it was probably 159.2, some days it was 159.8, some days it was 161, some days it was 160.4. In order to maintain weight, you're probably seeing some sort of shifts. And when you see it go down a few ounces, you want to think, what did I do? Did I have an earlier dinner? Did I drink more water? Like, did I make the Brussels sprouts and bacon recipe? Did I have, like, was it the cabbage steaks that worked really well? It's because I made the turnip fries. It's because I planned and had cucumbers in my bag. Like, what was it? So then you can repeat those patterns and behaviors, because again, we're all different and we all have to find our own little, like, best tips and tricks and tweaks that work best for us. So please, 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 please trade in frustrations for appreciations. We're growing, we're learning, we're always evolving, and weight loss is a journey, okay? And it's okay that you don't lose 20 pounds in the first month, because it's not a quick fix system. You don't need to lose 15 pounds in 15 days if they're only going to come back on because you don't really know how you did it, so you revert back to old ways. You need the scale to go up. You need the scale to go up sometimes to learn from it. You need to hit a plateau for a few days so you can learn from it. So you can, if you hit a plateau for a few days, that's teaching you how maintenance works. So clearly in those few days, you're learning, okay, so if I eat this, I don't gain weight, but I'm also not losing. So this might work really well for me when I hit my goal weight, but I need to make some tweaks and suggestions and maybe like eat earlier dinner. Maybe I need to sleep more. Maybe I need to drink more water. Maybe I need to eat more vegetables. Maybe I need to do the more sure model and not have my first bite be a carb because that led me to eat more carbs. It takes tweaking, learning. It might be because I didn't go to the bathroom. It might be because I'm getting my period. Like, you have to be insightful. You have to want to learn, because when you learn more about yourself and you study yourself more, it's the most empowering feeling in the world. When you feel like you know your body best and you're not following peitive, you're following you. That's what makes you want to keep going. That's what makes you able to keep it off forever. So the peitive method is a great jumping off point. It's what, you should and will follow all the time, but it takes tweaking. Like, because I say Greek yogurt and berries. It might be Greek yogurt and cantaloupe. It might be a cup of Greek yogurt. It might be a 5-ounce container. It really takes you figuring it out. I'm providing recommendations that work for, general speaking, what I've seen work for like thousands of people pieced together, but every single person has to take what works and leave what doesn't and modify accordingly to their best success. So please, 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 please never get frustrated. Always be appreciative that you did track, or you could track better so you can learn more. And also, a lot of people are like, I lost 5 pounds, I gained back 3. Prior to doing this program, like a month previously, you were probably gaining 5 pounds a month and weren't able to lose back the 3 or whatever it is. Like, if you're staying the same this month, it's probably a better place than you might have been in the previous months, okay, where it might have been on an upward trend. So that's a win too. So you have to just be open-minded and positive and appreciative of where you are in your journey, because sometimes it has to go up in order to learn from it, and sometimes it has to plateau in order to learn from it. And then when we can learn from it and figure out what's not working, we can be like less attracted to those behaviors, more attracted to the ones that work. And then we start to crave more vegetables, start to crave more water, because they give us the results and the benefits and the rewards that we really see and understand that we love most. And that's when you start to realize, what do you want now versus what do you want most? And that's when people start writing to me, I'm craving cucumbers, who am I? It's because you're craving it because it's giving you such an amazing reward that like you want to just keep doing and repeating those positive behaviors. So please stay positive. Please stay appreciative. Please stay open to learning and evolving, because that's what life is all about. It's about constant self-improvement. It's not about a day-to-day self-improvement. I didn't lose my weight and then revert back to those things. When I lost 100 pounds, I had to change my approach, the foods I was eating, how I was tracking from 215 to 185 was very different than 185 to 165. Then I would stay at 165 for a while, and I'd be like, shoot, I really want to get to 145. So I had to completely change my approach. I stayed at 140 to 145 for way too long to admit. I stayed there forever. I didn't think I could go further. And then you know what? I was like, I got to make a push. I got to change things up. And boom, I hit like the 118 or what but I had to be open-minded. I had to not get complacent. I had to always be humble. You can never get too cocky with your approach, with what you're doing. You always have to be humble to learning a new thing, because that's what life is all about. Right now, things aren't working for me now that worked back then, and that's okay, because I'm at a different age, I'm at a different place, I'm at a different lifestyle. Everything's different, and everything's always different. So we always have to be able to adapt. And adaptability and flexibility and determination are really those three aspects to success. It doesn't come by wanting it. It comes by being flexible, persistent, motivated, adaptable to all the tweaks that need to be made. Because life is never perfect. Eating is never perfect. It's what's perfect for you, and that is going to change constantly with warmer weather, with different ages, with everything. Okay, so please, please, please stay appreciative of your journey. Stay persistent. Stay patient, because it's a learning process. Okay, I love you guys so much. Okay, so I really want to talk about that. Number 2 is positive people, positive weight loss. I can't tell you how important this is. My family wanted to go out last night to celebrate my birthday. So sweet. The thought is so there. But I knew it would be at like 9 p.m. at night when we could all find some sort of babysitter coverage to watch the kids. I'm so tired. I'm so drained. I just couldn't. And the idea of being out past 9 p.m. 2 weeks after having a baby just made me like, I just feel so drained day to day that I just felt like I just couldn't do it. And I asked my family, like, is it okay if we pass? And they were so kind about it. And they were so sweet about just addressing what I really want, which is rest and relaxation and being in my pajamas past, I don't know, 7 a.m. every day. And that was really like, so it really comes down to having to ask your family and friends what works best for you and what they could do to help you, and also like advocating for yourself, but also just surrounding yourself with positive people who get you and your needs. So right now there are going to be a lot of summer get-togethers, a lot of potlucks, a lot of barbecues, a lot of pool parties and events, and some people are going to push food on you, and they're going to say, oh, come on, you already lost 10 pounds. Give it up a little bit. Have some cookies, have some chips, have some cake, have some beer, drink with me, eat with me, try this. I made this. You have to tell them, no thanks, I'm good. No thanks, I'm good. I feel really great what I'm doing, and my 2 hands are on the wheel. I'm on the road to my weight loss goal. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really positive. I'm good. But drink with me. Have a drink with me, and just say cheers. Cheers to water. I know some people think that's like a superstition, but I mean, I don't think there's a better beverage to celebrate than water. So that's really what we need most in our lives. So I'm very happy to cheers to water all the time. bring like your own soda with you. Bring your own LaCroix or Zevia or Perrier or sparkling waters with you to a party. My mother-in-law just told me the cutest thing, which is that when she goes out, when she has friends, and when they go out, they will sometimes bring their own diet tonic and give it to the bartender and ask the bartender, hey, bartender, can you make me a vodka tonic? And they all bring out their own like little, like, those diet tonic bottles. Yeah, it has some artificial sweetener, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's, if it works for you and it makes you feel better and it helps with your weight loss on occasion, then it could work for you. And I thought that was just a cool thing that the whole circle of friends does it at a bar in public from their purse. They give it to the bartender, and it's socially acceptable because they've created this ring of acceptance and positivity among each other. And that's what will make any relationship stronger. So I think that's just really a great message to think about. If people are pushing you to eat food, like, just say like, I'm really good. I'm fine. Thank you so much. I'm full. I'm satisfied. Enjoy it. I'll sit here with you. But if people keep pushing or start nagging and stuff like that, just walk away, because you really need to have positive surroundings in order to have a positive mindset and life. And you don't want that to get in the way of your journey. And if they're really being negative, then it has nothing to do with you. And you always have to realize that, because I know a lot of you are experiencing that now, but there's a great line I love, which is people will either love you or people will hate you, but it usually has nothing to do with you. And so you kind of just have to think about that. Some people are going to be like, you look amazing, tell me what you're doing. And other people are going to be like, stop losing weight, you're getting too skinny, or enough already. And you just have to see, like, don't take it personally. Don't get too sensitive when people say, the not nice things, but just try to, like, wish them well. And also make sure that you stay and protect yourself from negativity by staying positive in your mindset and surrounding yourself with more positive people and surroundings, because I have found that helps so much with creating a positive weight loss. And advocate for yourself. Tell these people, like, I really appreciate what you're doing, and I sense the love that you have by making me this dessert or something, but I'm really working so hard on my health right now. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Give them back the love that they're looking for. But then you don't have to feel like you need to, overeat to compensate, because that, probably wouldn't be what they're intending for. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that. And then I want to talk about weekends planning. And then I want to take questions. So Kathy said, be a leader with your friends. Yes, bunnies lead, not follow. Bunnies lead, not follow. You are a coach. You are a health coach. You signed up to be a health coach. People expect you to make healthy choices. When you make a healthy choice in a public setting, you are different sometimes, and that's a good thing, because you want to be set different. You want to create a new standard. You are setting a new standard. You are setting a higher bar, and you are helping to positively influence others around you. And when people watch you make that healthy choice, as much as they might be snarking, they're learning. They're being inspired. And when you make a public healthy choice, like picking baby carrots versus a handful of chips at a Sunday barbecue or birthday party, you don't even know how many people are watching and being inspired. So keep that in mind as you make healthy choices, that you're inspiring others. Bunnies lead, not follow. And we are setting a new standard here of what health can look like and what parties can look like and what positive eating and weight loss can look like. This is a new approach. And so when people get negative on you of like, oh, you're on a diet, that's why you're eating carrots. It's like, no, dude. The carrots are good. They're crunchy. They taste good, and I feel good when I eat them. So yeah, and walk away. And you don't even know. You'll leave the person speechless with their jaw on the floor being like, she's right. He's right. I want carrots. Like, don't be afraid to speak up and advocate for what's working for you and what you enjoy doing, because eating well feels better. And the healthier choice is always the happier choice. It is, because you're happy while eating and you're happy afterwards. So always be strong in making that strong, happy, positive choice, because people expect you to make it, because they know you're on the 2B mindset. They know you're a Beachbody coach. They expect you to make healthy choices. So don't feel like you need to sabotage your eating to satisfy others. Stick to what's really satisfying you right now and what you want most. Okay, so I want to talk about that. And Robin says she loves carrots. I eat so many baby carrots. I'm surprised my breast milk isn't orange. I love baby carrots. Okay. And the third thing is weekend planning. I have to say, one of my best tips for the weekend is to drink more water. I just drink more water on the weekends because during the week, Monday to Friday, it's usually like where you expect it to be. But on the weekends, you have to be thinking, I need more water on the weekends. Why? One is you're probably stressing because you're probably running around more or more with your kids or more in the sun or more active or more in a pool or more walking around or more sweating. The other thing why I think you need more water is one, because if you think more water, you'll probably hit the same amount of water because you're probably like just not as focused. And so I always think like I need more water on the weekends and I probably hit the same amount just because I have a stronger focus on it. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me that makes sense. It's because like during the week I'm more diligent about it. And on the weekends I'm just running around so much. I feel like that when I think like I need more water, I feel like I just make sure to prioritize that. And also we need more water than we necessarily need more food on the weekends. And so I always find that when you're surrounded by more food, it probably means you need to keep your hands more so on your water bottle because it's like mindless eating or mindless drinking water. So I really try to keep my two hands on the wheel like all weekend long. I love that this has become so portable. I literally push a stroller, carry a baby, cook everything while having the water bottle on my hands and just filling it up constantly. So I avoid mindless eating and snacking that tends to be around lots throughout the weekend. So one is you have to go into the weekend thinking I need more water. The other thing you want to be thinking about is where do I want to be come Sunday morning? Where do I want to be come Saturday morning? Where do I want to be come Monday morning? I really want to make this a weight loss weekend. How can I prepare for that? So I'm already thinking Friday, which is always a little bit different for me. Fridays are always different because we traditionally have like a big Friday night dinner. So I like to kind of work that out and make sure that my dinner looks more similarly to Monday to Thursday's dinners. And I like try to encourage my husband to make it earlier, even though that's hard for him. Saturday is such a different day. Kids aren't in school. Everything is different. What's the plan Saturday? I like to have a consistent breakfast every day. So I like to have my Shakeology on Saturday mornings. Also, when I'm in weight loss mode, I know some people like to, switch it up on the weekends, have pancakes on the weekends, the pancake banana recipe. That's fine. You can definitely change things up according to you. Like I personally find if I'm consistent with my breakfast every day of the week, I'm more consistent with my weight loss and with my eating going forward. And that's one of my best weight loss weekend tips is to have that consistent breakfast. And I really recommend you do too. How much water am I going to drink all weekend long? Where am I going for lunch? Where am I going for dinner? What's going to be, are there going to be cocktails? Is there going to be alcohol? Am I going to treat that as my carb and then compensate by just having like protein and veggies with the meal? If I'm going to know I'm going to have wine at lunch, whatever it is, you kind of have to just work it out and plan ahead for it. Okay. And then Sunday is a whole nother bamboozle day. So it's totally different. If you can, but a lot of people find that they lose more weight on the weekends because they are busier, running around from here to there, or just resting more and more relaxed, so they're not stressed eating. So we're all different, and the potential to lose weight on weekends is just as good and high as it is during the week. So really plan ahead and make this weekend a weight loss weekend. Okay, so what questions do we have? Someone said their boss brought in donuts and they said, no thanks, I'm good. Someone said they have 3 potlucks. 3 potlucks on 3 Sundays in a row, Jocelyn. Potlucks are your friend. I love potlucks. Potlucks are my favorite meals to go to because I always make the salad and bring a veggie tray and I count on someone else to make a protein. That's how I treat potlucks. I make a big salad. I make it lean. If I want more toppings to satisfy other people, like candied walnuts and stuff, I put them on the side. Or I give myself a big helping of the salad with like maybe just the dressing, give myself a big salad, and then I add in all the toppings and mix it together for everyone else. So I really, really, really love to go to potlucks. I make always the biggest salad. I really recommend you watch the tuna salad recipe, because if you make that recipe without the tuna on top, that slaw is a total crowd pleaser. So people love, love, love that slaw. Make a big salad. Also bring a veggie tray if you want, and rely on someone else will have grilled chicken there, or salmon or shrimp or something else. And that's usually what I do. And then for the carb, I usually use the more Shore model. And if it's a lunch, and someone brings fresh fruit, or it's like a couple of bites of something that looks great. Or maybe if someone makes like a quinoa salad or a bean salad or something like that. So, but I really try to not have too much of what other people are making. Like I try to stick it to just a small spoon, not necessarily like a huge quarter of my plate, because if other people are making it, we tend to be people pleasers, and especially at a potluck, everyone wants to get the biggest compliments. So people tend to over mayo, over oil, over butter their food, over salt their food in order to, be most palatable to everyone else. And so I always try to like focus on the foods that I know, and that's why I love fresh fruit as my FFC at a potluck, because I know that it's fruit, and not necessarily has a lot of like tricky added oils and fats and stuff like that. But if I do want something like a quinoa or bean salad or potato salad or something like that, I just try to stick to a few bites, use the more Shore model, and not overdo it at a potluck party. So that's a great, potlucks are a great topic. I'm so happy we spoke about potlucks. What other? Yes, bring veggie bags of baby carrots, cartons of cherry tomatoes, cartons of those mini cucumbers. Like I just don't let my refrigerator be empty of those ever. So right now, if I can't get to the grocery store because I have the baby and it just doesn't always work, there's like Amazon Prime, there's Instacart, there's Kroger grocery stores deliver groceries now free of charge. I mean, Walmart, I'm pretty sure, is now delivering groceries free of charge. Fun fact, Walmart sells more, I believe the stat is Walmart sells more organic produce than any other retailer in the world. Like so many grocery stores deliver now free of charge. And I find when I shop for food online, I'm less tempted by silly choices too. So I just feel like there are really no excuses in order to eat your veggies every day, even with a newborn, even with a stressful life and job. You really want to be ahead of the weekend and ahead of planning and make sure you have those snackable veggies. Baby carrots, those little cucumbers, the endive, those little lettuces, hearts of palms, like that you can get from a can, or Costco sells them great from a jar. Just really good to have I like to snack on whole radishes. I like to snack on raw okra. And I really, on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, it's so important to have these things with you, like in the car, on your way to a birthday party, on your way to a potluck. So that way you're drinking lots of water and you're filling up on your first bite being veggie. And you go into a lot of these social settings like 40% full already, which will really, really, really help you be more in control, not be too hungry or ravenous or make silly choices. And it also allows you to feel like you don't need to run to the table of food right away. So if I fill up on lots of water and veggies before I go to a party, I'm more focused on saying hi to everyone for the first hour. I'm more focused on being social. I'm more focused on helping the host put the food together. I'm more focused on getting my kids settled in a good place. Like I'm just more settled. My mindset is more on the occasion, the get together. And then by the time I feel hungry, like it's still in a sensible, rational, good feeling place. And I can make a plate that looks appropriate for the eating occasion. So I really recommend drinking water and maybe having some snackable veggies before your weekend plans. It's a great way to fill up on the right thing first. It's a great way, especially if you know that there might not be as great offerings there. And it's sometimes you go to that party and there really isn't anything you want to eat. Or you realize, like I went to a party on Sunday with my daughter and my son and my husband, and it was a rock star themed 3-year-old's birthday party. It was total what my husband and I called chaos, crazy chaos. And it was a really fun party, but it was like, it was 3-year-olds banging on drums and guitars, and there was a moon bounce, and it was just a lot of distractions and silly things, and there's candy and there's pizza, and I saw there was a vegetable platter, and it was a noon party, so like it would be lunch. But I ate carrots and had water before, and like I didn't even go near the table. I didn't even go, and I think there were salads and stuff like that, but I didn't even go to the food because I didn't feel like I needed to, and I also knew if I were going to eat there, I wouldn't be paying attention to it because it was chaotic, chaos, crazy, chaos, chaotic. And I wouldn't have enjoyed my food or been able to track it well because I would have been so distracted and not even known what I ate. So really, really think about this before your weekend planning. Just know like you can go to events, enjoy them fully and wholeheartedly without even eating if you don't feel like you need to. And if you do have weddings this weekend or anything else, please watch the events video. Questions? Maybe up the water in veggies. Yeah, you can always up the water in veggies. The sweet bell peppers I love. I just posted about them on Instagram today. Kayla said she brings a list to the grocery store. Great idea. Joe Hendricks traveled for work this week and stayed on course and lost 1.5 pounds while on a work trip. You rock, Joe Hendricks. That is so awesome. And you said, no thanks, I'm good, to the donuts in the office. Yeah. And honestly, there are always donuts in the office. There's always a birthday party. There's always an event. It's going to be 4th of July. It's going to be, we have 3 events at the same time this Sunday. 3 at the same time. It's like Sundays, weekends, it's like, it's crazy. So you really have to plan ahead of what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat through it. Dahlia said online shopping is life. Shaza asked, is it better to eat fruit than cake or chocolate? Of course. Watch the carb video. Jessica asked, when I'm in weight loss mode, do I have less grains and more fruit for your FFCs? Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Because grains, when I'm in weight loss mode, I try not to have as many grains only because I feel like I can't track them as well. So I just feel like with quinoa and with barley and with brown rice and stuff like that, I just find I don't tend to make those dishes because when I cook them myself, I pick while making them. And when I go out, I'll have them when I'm out, I'll have a couple of bites, but it's not something I tend to eat on a daily basis because 1, I don't like making it because I pick at it. And 2, if I have it in the house, I guess I would use a measuring cup to eat them, but I don't like to overly measure my food, so I just tend not to. I find like a whole apple, a whole peach is easier to track. I always think like what's easier to track. I like to have just like a piece of whole wheat bread, like Ezekiel bread or Dave's Killer bread, or I found these like really good high fiber mini bagels. I just, I always have to try it, track it, and see. And I find like loose grains for me can be really hard to control and stop eating. So I tend to just not get started with them when I'm in a really focused weight loss mode. Unless I'm out and that's like the best option and I feel like it looks really good and I want a few bites, but I try not to like give myself a huge amount of it. But I do love beans. I find beans are awesome for weight loss mode because I find I just don't overeat them, and I could have, a couple of beans within a salad, and it works like really well, and I stay really full. Deborah says, PCOS, you want to go on keto. I really don't recommend keto for PCOS at all. I really recommend the 2B mindset for PCOS because what we're hearing from people with PCOS doing the 2B mindset has been literally only positive. That's all I can say is that we've had dozens and dozens of women with PCOS do the 2B mindset and say that like the most unbelievable remarks in their weight loss, in their mindset, in their health, and tell me that they've had incredible visits to the doctor since. So I highly recommend following this program, speaking to your doctor, and making tweaks as needed. There is a lot more beneficial research behind the principles of the 2B mindset, backing more water for weight loss, more veggies for weight loss, high fiber carbohydrates for weight loss, like beans, like fruit, the principles of the tubing mindset are all backed by really good sustainable research on long-term weight loss, and keto does not have that same backing and support at all. So Kelsey saying she has PCOS and she's like so happy with the plan. I mean, I have had dozens and dozens of private messages of women with PCOS who have lost so much weight and are seeing really great doctor visits due to PCOS. Maria also, and everyone else. Okay, great. Dahlia is saying that she finds eating earlier and later in the evening helps with weight loss. Guaranteed for me. For me, guaranteed. Like having lighter dinners. When I mean lighter dinners, I mean like two sunny side ups over like Brussels sprouts hash, or turnip fries with a piece of salmon. I mean, basically the plated dinners, when I find like it's not too high in oil, it's not too high in salt, it's the plated dinner of mostly vegetables, a good lean protein that's easy to track, and I'm dinner and done, and I just drink tons of water afterwards, like I almost always see a weight loss because of it. So I really recommend that. Kathy said she's having trouble with her sweet tooth. Honestly, sweet tooth, it's like the more you give into it, the more you have it. The more it's in sight, the more it's in mind. We don't actually have sweet tooth. Our teeth are actually made out of like enamel and calcium, and your teeth aren't sweet. Your teeth want vegetables. Your teeth want good food. I had like sweets throughout my pregnancy, at times, and I kept feeling like I really wanted them, like, the higher protein, lower calorie ice creams, and I got in a habit of eating them. And then like a few days postpartum, I said to my husband, like, oh my God, this is the time of the day where I really like having like, that like low fat ice cream. And I told my husband, I'm like, it's just a habit. It's not a hunger. I don't really have a sweet tooth, and I'm just in the habit of doing it. And I need to get out of the habit and drink my water and eat my veggies and change my palate off of them, keep them out of sight, out of mind, and it'll go away. And it did. And it did feel awkward, and it did feel weird, and it did feel like a stretch, but we don't have sweet tooths. Our body wants to be mindset foods. The sweetest thing, if you think about it, in nature is fruit. Like, I mean, if you're having a sweet tooth, like try to have some strawberries, try to have some raspberries, make yourself a Shakeology, make yourself something purposeful, make yourself something smart, have some like a flavored unsweetened seltzer water. But it's like, come on, like we don't have sweet tooth, and a lot of it is just a mindset. It's a habit. It's what you become accustomed to. It's what you're looking at all day. But it's one of those things, like our pancreas and our liver are not craving sugar. Our body really wants to be nourished with good, healthy food. So we just gotta, push ourselves past those habits and get into the point of what we really want and need for our bodies. So Bonnie says she's chewing gum. Gum could be an amazing. I always have gum with me, especially on the weekends. I usually carry gum with me on the weekends, especially at a potluck or a mindless eating occasion. I find it really helps not not overeat. Wonder Whips are amazing for sweet cravings. Shakeology fudgesicles, I also make those. So, you can definitely find some smarter sweet alternatives, but you also really have to push your mindset, because there is no growth in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the growth zone. Sometimes you have to do things that don't feel as comfortable, like not have a sweet when everyone else is having a sweet, drink your water, have a tea, and realize, wow, I feel really good. And it ends up feeling more sweet and more rewarding in the long run. Okay, I love you guys so much. I have so many things I need to get done today. I love you guys so much. Steph, I agree. I do love the Ziva waters. I love the LaCroix. I love the Perrier's. I love teas with little stevia and almond milk, gum, Wonder Whips, Shakeology fudgesicles or Shakeologies. Like, there are a lot of really productive, smart ways you can do with having a sweet tooth. But again, know that a lot of it is habit, not hunger. And sometimes you just have to like distract yourself, take a bath, take a shower, take a walk outside, read a magazine, read a book, put on something sweet and delicious, be dinner done, get more sleep if you can, which is the sweetest reward in life, in my opinion. And usually all those cravings pass, and you realize you're breaking a habit and creating better ones that will get you into that better place you really want to be. Okay, I love you guys so much. Have the best day and weekend. Kick butt this weekend, okay?